And welcome everyone to today's News Tonight, the weeknight news show where we're joined by special guests, our lovely patrons, and our awesome YouTube audience to discuss the day's gaming news. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and today I'm joined by my good friends and GVG co-founders, Ash Paulson and Steve Bowling, along with our very special returning guest, Naveed Mohebbi, game collector, Twitch streamer, YouTube creator, all-around good guy. And you had some internet troubles, which got us to your house, which apparently where is the bulk of your game collection is. So it's like internet issues, wanting to show off your stash. One of the a little bit of both.
I got the gamer background going, This was my normal setup before, but I had to come here because my internet at my apartment died for like the first time in 3.5 years, and so far from what I know, it's still not even back up. So
wow,
the worst.
Ash is familiar with that sort of issue.
Yeah, Spectrum has thankfully been behaving ever since it went down when Steve was here a few weeks ago. It hasn't had another downage yet, but I'm I'm knocking on wood. With Spectrum, you just kind of assume that something's going to go wrong sooner or later. So
beat it into shape.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's good to be back on. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I've always like to get guests back on and see how what they've been up to. Anything cool, new, fun? I don't know.
I mean, still doing the same thing. I've been playing a lot of WarioWare recently.
I got it.
Same. Nice.
It's good.
The game's good.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed by a few things here and there. Like, I don't know if it's a spoiler to mention some of the unlockable stuff, but I won't mention it here. But I'll just say some of the unlockable stuff is a little bit more disappointing than other WarioWare games. But overall,
I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
believe it or not, this is only the second WarioWare I've ever bought. The first one I got was, and I even got it way after the fact from a friend who was getting rid of a bunch of old games, was WarioWare Smooth Moves on the Wii.
It's a good one.
Okay.
I've never really played much of the WarioWare games, despite them being very appealing, and I just don't know why I've never touched them.
They're very good. It's one of my favorite franchises. The first game I ever got on my GBA was WarioWare.
Oh, nice.
So
we just got done playing some WarioWare Mega Party games for the GameCube as part of one of our GVG After Dark streams at PAX, and man, that brought me back because that was one of my big college games. I would play that with my college friends often.
Have you checked out the multiplayer modes, Ash?
I haven't because I don't have anyone to play them with yet, but I'm having a few friends over for my birthday next weekend. My birthday was on the 10th. A lot of you already know. Thank you so much for the incredible outpouring of birthday love. Seriously, I got so much. But I couldn't do anything this past weekend with my friends, so I'm having some over on Friday and Saturday, and I've made sure to unlock everybody in WarioWare, unlock all the multiplayer stuff, so I can properly try it when they're here.
All I'll tell you is that one of the modes we had the most fun with at PAX is in the new WarioWare.
Oh, good. I was hoping one of them would echo some of the GameCube games that you can play, like the multiplayer games. Okay,
that's
good.
Awesome.
Really happy to hear that.
the multiplayer stuff is good. I just played them with a few friends last night, so got to play that for the first time. And yeah, there's some good stuff in there.
Nice, nice.
I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Speaking of my birthday, I did want to show off something really quick just because I think they're so cool. So my wife got me an amazing present. She surprised me. It wasn't even on my list because I didn't want to put her through the trouble of trying to find them. But my wife found me a pair of Skyward Sword Joy-Con.
Oh, wow.
And these things are so sick looking in person. Right. They're so well made. I love these things, man. So I just wanted to show off my Switch with my Skyward Sword Joy-Con. But man,
I was going to show off Amy's Switch with the Skyward Sword Joy-Con because she claimed those very quickly.
There you go. Welcome to the club, man.
Yeah.
I've got an extra
but they're
pair
really
nice.
Oh, look, you just got one for your birthday. Well, I have an extra pair sitting around.
I'm an idiot, and I pre-ordered them from Japan and forgot to cancel since I got a U.S. pair. So they just showed up in the mail. I was like, damn it. That's $80.
I love it. But man, I think these are my favorite limited edition Joy-Con yet. Like, they're really nice.
They really
I love that
are.
They're slightly different color too.
Yeah, they're really cool.
It's very small, nice touches that are well done. Before we get too far, though, because obviously there's much more to talk about. Of course, this episode, it's been a while since I've been able to host, but this, Mondays, hosted by the Game Orb. And the Game Orb is a fledgling channel that has focused mostly on Nintendo content until recently. While they are still running Let's Plays of Nintendo games like Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, going forward, they're also covering games on the Xbox Series X, like Portal Still Alive and Rocket League, as part of a fresh daily upload schedule. So make sure to subscribe to the Game Orb at the link in the description. And we're still working our way to get them up to 400 subscribers. We got past that 350. We got to get to that 400. We're just going to keep pushing them further and further. And of course, they also want to promote their friend's YouTube channel, Galactic Reaper. And you can find both those links in our description. And
I'm getting
all
them
that
ready
good
for the
stuff.
chat right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, and Ash will probably post it in the chat, pin it in the chat, so you can check them out.
Yes.
And as always, thank you so much to them. It's very much appreciated, all the continued support. So yeah, crazy. That's why we always try to send you guys to them as much as possible, and get them, show them love. That's the big thing. Show them the
GB
love.
Gang's love. And I just posted links to both channels in the description now. Thank you, as always, so much, the Game Orb, for your incredible support of the channel from the very beginning. And yeah, everybody, let's just show them as much love as we can, and pump up that sub count and view count. Not just sub count. Go to actually check out their content too, because it's good stuff.
Yep.
So pump up those sub counts and view counts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, real quick, Ash, since I was kind of away, I was traveling a lot this weekend. I was away for that. How did your birthday go?
It was great. My wife took really great care of me. She took me out to some great Korean Italian fusion food for dinner on Friday night, the night of my actual birthday. And so, yeah, it was just a local cafe. We walked to it. It's one of the great things about living where I live in K-Town. There's so much amazing food, open late within walking distance. And it's a good thing it was open late, because originally her schedule or her reservation was for 8 p.m. And then we had to book Gerard Khalil, the completionist, around his schedule, and he couldn't be available until 8 p.m. Pacific, to do TNT. So we had to push it later. Thankfully, that wasn't an issue. So she took me out to, great Korean Italian fusion, gave me those awesome Skyward Sword Joy-Cons, and took me out for a massage. She got me a massage, like a deep tissue massage, which I haven't had in like 2.5 years, thanks to the pandemic. And they were really great about masking up. They had, mask mandates, and the staff were vaccinated, so I felt safe going. So I got a deep tissue massage, and she just took really good care of me. And then Saturday night, she took me out to a barcade that I hadn't been to before. So we just played, got some good drinks and played some games. And for those of you who follow me on Twitter, that's where that random Bubble Bobble arcade picture came from.
Okay, I was wondering.
From that. That's where that was from. So
nice.
Yeah, it was a great birthday. I can't complain, for sure. My wife took great care of me, and I have some friends, like I said, coming over this upcoming weekend. I say for my birthday, but really it should be for your birthday, because your birthday's on Friday, right, man?
Yeah, I mean, my birthday is going to be pretty low key. I think not too much going on. I might have a special stream going on Thursday to do like a birthday countdown, because with TNT on Friday, I don't really want to do another stream during the day and then go into TNT.
Wait, did you not hear? Did Steve and I not tell you? We invited the entire GVG Discord community over to your house on Friday. We didn't tell you? Oh, yeah,
crap.
There's a huge party going on.
I'm going to need to get a lot more.
You're hosting.
I'm hosting. Thanks.
You're hosting. No worries.
Oh, I'm so happy for that. Oh,
yeah, it's going to be
God,
like
I could not afford
there on Friday. I'm
could
excited
not
for you,
afford that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, my. That'd be something else. But
yeah.
The nice, being up with family a little bit. I got a few birthday cards, and it was really nice. I haven't opened them yet, but I basically got some money from my mother because we were up there for her wedding. She got remarried this weekend. It was a very nice ceremony, and it's just a really fun, good time. Good chance for family member take Kai, Amy and I get to dance. that does not happen too often anymore. So that was nice. And it's so funny watching Amy at these kind of party things, because she is such a lightweight. She could have the smallest drink of any type of alcohol, and she is gone. Not gone, like drunk, or she just starts immediately feeling tipsy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, me too. I wish it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I guess cheap date. I don't know. But, Derek can dance without, I'm sorry, Azran saying I could dance without EP names. Yeah, believe it or not. Well, when Amy's there, anyway. I'm not a great dancer on my own, but, have a partner and be good. But yeah, because of the birthday money I got from my mother, I can start playing Final Fantasy 14 again. That'll be nice.
Nice. Very nice.
Got a lot of stuff to get to, especially because they have the Noctis event going on, the Final Fantasy 15 event, Ash, where you can get the car. I think it's the Regalia.
Oh, very cool. The Regalia, yeah.
Yeah, get that as a mount and dress up as Noctis, all that stuff. So,
nice.
Speaking
of games we're playing, I did want to point out really quickly that I am happy to confirm, I'm still chipping away at Skyward Sword HD, having a great time. Happy to confirm that the Ancient Cistern, 10 plus years later, is still one of the very best dungeons in Zelda history.
Yep.
With
Period.
one of the most satisfying bosses, too. I love that.
I was hoping it would live up to my really positive memories of it, and I'm happy to report that it absolutely fucking does. What a dungeon, man. I love the Ancient Cistern. And it's so good. So good.
Naveed, you'll appreciate this one because I know you're also a fan. Ash is as well, but I don't think he's definitely not this far. But I'm working my way through Case 3 of Great Ace Attorney 2.
I think I'm on Case 3 as well.
Oh, you're in Case 3 as well? Have you?
Nice.
I just finished the second investigation section. I
don't recall how far I am.
Oh, man.
I've been going in and out, especially with new games coming out, like WarioWare.
Right.
But I'm slowly chipping away at that one myself, and I'm excited to get back to it because, man, that game is shaping up to be really, really good, especially getting towards the end of it.
Oh God, yeah. I been keeping up with Ant, and he's finished the second game already. He's like, I don't want to overhype this, but these are some of my favorite cases. These last three. I'm like, and as I'm getting further in Case 3, I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing it. It started out pretty slow, but the way it's building up and really addressing a lot of the things that have been sort of happening around, it's like, now we're getting. You got my attention.
Yeah, I could see them bringing everything together from the past, the first game, and then this one. I could see that coming. So I can't wait to play more.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm still in the third case of the first game. My wife just hasn't had much time to sit down and play recently. And like I said, I won't play without her. It is very much a together game for us. So just, trying to be as patient as possible while trying to avoid spoilers. But I am loving Case 3 so far. And I think we're at at least according to the save file, we're at the trial part 3. So I don't know how close to the end of trial 3 that is.
Relatively close there. I think there might be one more section. I'm not sure. I'm not positive.
I'm really liking it though. It's my favorite case so far, and I know Derek, you said it's your favorite in the game.
Case 3 is my favorite of the original Great Ace Attorney,
which is maybe the first time that's ever happened. Because Case 3s aren't usually ripe for favorites.
Yeah, that is true.
Can't wait.
This one does good stuff. I
want to play the rest.
That's the one.
I'm trying to poke my wife tonight and maybe try to finish it.
What's that, Naveed?
That's the one with Natsume. The first time.
No, that's Case 4.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, that's
the one
right.
with
McGilded.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we'll just leave it at that because I don't know exactly how far Ash is, and I don't remember the specifics, and I just want to
I don't want to say anything else.
Exactly.
And I know Rob Arman X in our live audience chat is actively playing this right now and said no spoilers, please. So
no, we definitely won't.
No spoilers here.
That is reserved to this spoiler discussions that I'm having with Ted and Ant.
Nice.
Real quick before we move on, Steve, we haven't talked to you much. What are you playing?
I played a lot this weekend, man. I played the Lost Judgment demo, which is fantastic.
I forgot. I gotta play that.
It's all of Chapter 1, so you can play through the entirety of the first chapter of the game, which was really cool. It has an excellent narrative hook that explains why you end up in Yokohama, which that's in the trailers. You don't start out the game in Yokohama. You're still in Kamurocho at the beginning. But it does a good job of setting up Yagami and Kaito going to Yokohama. So if you want to know why they're there in those trailers, the demo is free on PS5. Absolutely worth your time. They fixed tailing. Tailing is a lot less boring. Nice. Chase sequences are a lot better now. They're HP based instead of kind of arbitrary, so you have an idea of when they'll end. But the combat feels a bit weightier. I'm not sure if I actually like it more, but it's really good. The other thing that took me by surprise was Bandai Namco sent me on launch day a Steam code for Tales of Arise. So
I've heard really good things.
Yeah, I didn't think at all that it would be my kind of game, but I was like, well, I'm the only one with a really good gaming PC, so I'm going to just take the Steam code. And I was like, I'll play it because they gave me the code, and I started it, and I am hooked, man. It has its hooks
I want to play it
completely. It is ridiculously good. The combat
visuals are stunning.
Mm-hmm.
They are. I will say this. My one gripe is that I've made it to the second major area, the second realm in the game, and the first two are probably visually the most boring. Like you start out and they're just all kind of samey environments. Like all the trailers that I saw, which I didn't consume them as voraciously as other fans like Vash or Daniel. I didn't go out of my way looking for Tales info. But I saw big green open fields and blue skies and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this game looks beautiful. I'll try it someday. And I haven't seen any of that yet in the game. But
you got to earn that vista.
Apparently, yeah. But the story is just so damn good. And the combat is so on point that I stayed up till almost 2 this morning playing it after a full day.
Oh, wow.
Ashley went to bed and I was like, you know what? I can log in for a few hours and play some Tales.
Nice. No. Is one of the first 2 areas the area you play through in the demo? Because if so,
I've not played the demo, so I don't know.
I've heard the demo is pretty late in the game. Not late in the game, but further in, so you have more options. So it's a little harder to get your grasp on it. So
gotcha. But, I really want to play it, but I just know that I shouldn't even try to think about getting it and playing it until I finish Skyward Sword, and I do want to finish that because I'm really enjoying my replay of that game. So I want to stay focused on it.
It is killing me that I have not touched Neo: The World Ends With You because I've been so focused on Greatest Journey. There's so much else. It is game after game after game, and it's great, but it also sucks.
Yep. I'm in that position too.
All right. Well, we're about to head on into the news, but let's go ahead because we have a lot of super chats. We definitely want to thank all of you for that. First up is Luigi and Daisy 315 with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, saying, have you guys ever tried playing Fortnite events? Not into Fortnite, I'm afraid.
Same. I just straight up have not.
I like Save the World. I do not like competitive Fortnite. So, unfortunately, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just not my thing, I'm afraid. I didn't hear the new chapter started, so that's exciting for people who play.
I think I have said before that if they ever actually do add any version of Mega Man to Fortnite, I'm honor bound to actually try it and play it. I have to if that ever happens. So we'll see.
I think you're really funny. Rec BCQ with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, saying couldn't stay up for Friday's TNT, but I'm back. Also, just want to let Derek know that he's the only founder who hasn't followed me on Twitter. LOL.
Ooh, called out.
It is called out, man. That's a shame. It's almost like I'm gotta earn it. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. He just called Steve and I cheap dates, man. Just called us cheap. We just give you our following.
Yeah.
You have to earn Derek's, I guess.
I have a firm if you're one of our patrons, a member of the GVG community, you just get a follow. So if you're supporting us on Patreon somewhere or you're sub to us on YouTube, I don't care how you support us. I'll just follow you. So
I am definitely notoriously stingy with who I follow on Twitter.
Anybody in our community who I'm not currently following, just so you know, it's not personal. I just haven't noticed yet that I'm not following you, and let me know and tag me wherever in Discord. Let me know where you are on Twitter, and I'll follow you. I completely agree with Steve. If you're supporting us, I want to make sure I follow you on Twitter as well.
Hold on. I can't remember if Rob called me out or not. Rob, okay, you get the follow because you helped me out in a major way. I don't know why I didn't do that for you. And you know what? Just because of the call out.
As well. Derek hasn't followed me yet. Derek had been getting put on blast today.
So mean. Let me see here.
Eddie B, GVG, we want to follow you wherever you are.
Exactly. Oh gosh. I don't know why it is. Is it still Rec BCQ? There it is. Why not?
Nice.
There you go.
This is so random. Get Lucky in our YouTube chat says the voice actor for Lulu from WarioWare follows me for some strange reason. That is random. That's cool though.
Yeah, it works. Thank you so much. And then follow up with RecBCQ, $2 super chat. Oh shiz, I forgot, belated happy birthday, Ash.
Thank you very much. I'm pretty sure you already told me happy birthday like 2 or 3 times at least, but I will take more. Thank you very much for all the love. Seriously. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. BlazeStar25 with a $10 super chat. Thank you very much for that. Says, never been interested in the Metroid series, but with all the hype for Dread, I decided to give the series a shot with Super Metroid. OMG, this game is amazing, and I'm super hyped for Dread now. Yes,
Super
absolutely.
Metroid is an all-time great. I can't think of a person I wouldn't recommend that game to.
It's almost 30 years old, too. Just crazy to think about.
And I think
a masterpiece.
Yeah, it really is. And I think over time, Zero Mission has almost gotten, maybe not as wide of accolades, but I think among fans, I think it's gone up in estimation, almost equal to Super Metroid. Yeah, as Rob like says in the patron chat, Super's Jang Zero Mission feels better. Yeah, it does. You'll be surprised how smoother Zero Mission feels. Granted, you pretty much need to have a Wii U and Virtual Console if you're going to play Zero Mission, but yeah, good stuff.
I like Super Metroid's campaign more though. Like the Super Metroid sense of progression. I think I enjoy the whole of Super Metroid as an experience more, but I agree, movement feels better in Zero Mission and Fusion for that matter.
Yeah, yeah, with the ledge grabs and everything.
Yeah.
Seeing so many people get into Metroid after Dread is just, it warms my heart.
Like, thank God.
Finally. I love it.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm so excited for Dread. Oh man.
Nintendo, if they could just release a 4-pack of those first 4 games, that'd be amazing. I'll be very happy. Alan Wilkerson with a £2 donation. Thank you so much. Saying, what if Nintendo Direct is on Derek's birthday? Well, happy birthday to me. Also, I'd be stressed.
Yeah.
I'd be something else. All right. Well, with all those super chats out of the way, let's say we actually get to the news.
Let's do it.
And
let's do it.
Kind of a light day, but there's definitely some interesting things here, including what we can expect from a certain company at TGS. So, Square Enix has revealed its lineup of games and its stream schedule for TGS 2021, and some pretty decent picks in here that we can look forward to, including Dragon Quest X Online and offline, Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier, more on Final Fantasy XIV, more on Forspoken, which is looking really good. Gotta have Guardians of the Galaxy in there. Project Triangle Strategy, new update on Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. Some pretty good stuff in there, but their presents in English is going to be at 1900. I don't know if this is Eastern or Pacific, but 1900.
Basically, it's going to be 3 a.m. I looked this up, and I think this is actually going to be a 3 a.m. presentation.
Oh, God, 3 a.m. So 3 a.m. for you, 6 a.m. for me.
Yeah, for once, this is actually timed. One of these is timed in such a way that I'm not suffering. I would much rather have 3 a.m. than 6 a.m. Much rather.
Oof, that is rough.
Interesting doing that.
But yeah, it looks like for an hour, because it says a review of information released thus far and new updates on upcoming titles for their presents on that. Then after that, it's basically just their opening day, and then some highlights on Forspoken, Guardians of the Galaxy, Brave Exvius, and the Saga series of all things, and then Stranger of Paradise. So
I gotta say,
interesting stuff.
This lineup does nothing for me, especially not at 3 a.m. But I mean, I was honestly hoping to see something more of Dragon Quest 12. I was hoping to see like even just another teaser trailer, something that showed more than just fire. I wanted to see Final Fantasy Before Crisis instead of First Soldier, which I really would have loved, because I don't know, I'm not feeling.
You mean Ever Crisis, right?
Or Ever Crisis. I'm sorry. Ever Crisis, because that game looks really compelling. That'll probably be the first game in a long time that actually has me pick up my phone and play a game on it. But yeah, I think a lot of these games are known quantities, so I nothing that'll get me out of bed to watch this, but I don't even know that I'll follow up with the after the fact coverage.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it suck if they like showed 16 during this though?
Well, that's the thing is they've teased that they might. We don't know, and this is of course a Square Enix presentation, so we have to assume it's going to be disappointing after the E3 one. But they have teased that 16 could make an appearance, which is why, at least I will probably be up reacting to this. Maybe that there's nothing, but for me, being up at 3 a.m. isn't really suffering.
I was about to say, you're already up.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you haven't gone to bed
totally
yet.
Do. Yeah, it's something I can totally do without. Yeah, it's worth it. And you never know. I might get to, get a surprise. How horrible would it be, though, if I was the only one who did it? And not only did they show 16, but they actually did confirm the pixel remasters for consoles. And
that would be something.
That would be so sad.
Yeah, I do want to get your thoughts on this. Like, what do you think of this lineup? Are you going to stay up till I think you're Eastern as well, Naveed. Yes. So 6 a.m. Are you going to be up at 6 a.m.?
I'll be asleep for sure. I am interested in a couple things. Like, Forspoken looks cool. We just saw that at Sony's event. That was one of the bigger games in Sony's event for me in terms of interest. And then Project Triangle Strategy, we also haven't seen since it was first shown off at that Nintendo Direct a while back. So I'm interested to see what more they have to show there. But I think it's kind of like Tokyo Game Show has kind of become this. It's more about showing what companies have rather than like new announcements for the future. I remember the past Tokyo Game Show was so much bigger. You would get way more announcements of things, but this seems like something I'd expect from TGS.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah. I really hope they show 16, but I mean, beyond that, what they've got here, I agree with you, Steve. Nothing's blowing my socks off. Dragon Quest X Offline would if we were getting it, but we're not. So just knowing that we're not getting it, I don't really care about that. I will say Guardians of the Galaxy was looking a lot better when we just saw it recently compared to E3, but not enough that I'm like excited for a 3 a.m. look at it. Like, it's looking better, but it's not freaking me out or anything.
Yeah.
Triangle Strategies, I like the demo. I'm looking forward to it when it comes out, but again, not something that I feel the need to see again right now.
Right.
And then Stranger of Paradise is Stranger of Paradise.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I missed that demo.
Oh God,
me too.
You didn't.
A lot of us
that
did.
demo. You dodged that demo. Trust me.
Yeah.
The thing I'll say about Guardians of the Galaxy real quick is that I feel like it's not a game I want to see more of, but I'm also not like, I'm not hyped. Like it's not like Metroid where I've made up my mind I'm getting this game. They've beat us over the head with this game so many times already that I'm like, it looks good enough. I'll try it. You've got me interested, Square. You don't need to keep showing it to me anymore. Like, just put out a playable demo. Then that'll make up my mind. I just don't want to hear about this game anymore. I'm getting tired of hearing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after E3, yeah.
The one here that I'm most excited to see more of, and that I actually would be down to be up at 3 a.m. for, is Forspoken. I loved what we saw in the PlayStation showcase of that game. The movement in that game looks incredible. I love that Square Enix is publishing a game with a woman of color lead. I think that's really cool. Very progressive of them specifically. And just the game itself looks really interesting. So Forspoken is kind of what I want to tune in for based on all the the games we're seeing here, but I am hoping we see more of FF16. It seems like it's past time. And Square did promise us initially that we would see more of 16 and get more info in 2021, and it's now September, and we haven't really. So it seems like it's past time.
Maybe Yoshi P's more focused on Endwalker at this point?
Possibly.
I don't know.
They do have it at 21 o'clock on October 1st. I don't know exactly what that... I guess it's 5 a.m., so I probably won't be up for this. But they do have Lounge Jam, Square Enix Music TGS 2021 Special Live, featuring the Ryo Miyashi Quintet, which sounds like something I'd love. The question is, can I stay awake past 5 a.m. to enjoy it? And I'm not sure about that.
Go to bed and wake up early? I mean, that's a viable choice.
Yeah, I know, right?
But that's like an hour, though, because it's 3 a.m. is the presentation, and then 5 a.m. is the lounge jam. That's why. It's like I'd be sleeping for 45 minutes.
You could go to bed, hear me out, at 8 p.m. and then wake up at 3 a.m.
You're talking madness.
I know.
That is pure chaos.
I don't think I'll be able to sleep at 8 p.m.
Ash fights the chaos. He does not embrace that chaos.
That's going to bed.
Yeah. No, I'm here to kill chaos, obviously. That's what I'm here for.
You need to cut your hair a lot shorter for that. And probably get a darker t-shirt. But that's all you need.
I will say just before we move on from this, that I was looking through their explanations here. The final thing they have is for the final day is they're having a Yoshi P thing for Final Fantasy 14. And what it actually is that he's actually visiting the public servers and playing with users during the live stream.
Oh,
that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
I think that's why Final Fantasy 14 flourishes, because boy, does he care about that game, which is what makes me excited for 16.
Mm-hmm.
So
sure.
We'll see. Which I don't know which server I have. It just says public servers. So I'm going to guess the Japanese side of things, but it's still cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, before we move on, we got a few more super chats. First up from Tyler Hardy with a $1.99 super chat saying, Homebrew says you don't need a Wii U for Fusion. True. There are other methods, but if we're talking legit, then you need a Wii U or a Game Boy Advance, but I'm pretty sure the Wii U's cheaper. Actually, Naveed, you might know this. You know of collecting. How bad is Game Boy Advance collecting right now?
Specifically Metroid? Are we talking about Metroid? Or
yeah, let's talk Metroid in this case.
Well, I know Metroid's gone up. Like Fusion and Zero Mission are like over $100 a pop right now.
God.
Loose. Not even like boxed or anything. So other than that, like things have gotten pretty bad overall. Like Castlevania titles are expensive.
Yep.
It's definitely going to be cheaper to get a Wii U at this point and pick up. There's a ton of GBA stuff on the Wii U Virtual Console, so
that is true.
It's not a bad investment.
No, especially if you want to check out that lineup, and even some Castlevania stuff. If you want those excellent Game Boy Advance Castlevania titles, but makes me kind of happy because I do own they're not sealed anymore, but I do have the boxes, the game, and the manuals for those two Metroid titles. So it's like, I'll never sell it, but it's one of those things like nice.
Yeah, I wish I had gotten those back in the day because getting those complete now is not fun.
Yeah. Screamo Shaman with a $1.99 super chat as well, saying regarding Metroid, if only the same happened to Klonoa. We need a new Klonoa. Where the heck was that? What is it? Klonoa
Encore.
Where
the hell is it? Bandai Namco. They registered that trademark like over a year ago.
Where's the Encore?
Never to get too excited about trademark registration news stories because sometimes they don't lead to anything, or whatever they lead to doesn't happen for over a year. So, hopefully, I'm just crossing my fingers, but I don't know. But we do need Klonoa to come back. I completely agree. I miss that guy.
Luigi and Daisy315 with another super chat, this time $2 once again, saying Shantae versus Shovel Knight, you choose.
Oh,
all right,
man.
real quick. I love them. I love them both. I guess with just what you prefer, but I love them both. Gonna have to go with Shantae.
Shovel Knight.
Character-wise, I'm gonna go with Shantae, but game-wise, I'm gonna go with Shovel Knight. But I love them both. It's like choosing a favorite child, or at least what I imagine that would be like.
I think I would agree with Ash. I think the Shovel Knight's a more cohesive game, but Shantae is a great character.
Yeah. And that's not to say I don't like Shovel Knight as a character, but Shantae she's awesome, man. Yeah. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our second story. This one, I'd say it's probably a 0 chance of happening, but maybe.
Nice.
So, in a recent interview, Platinum Games has revealed that they are open to porting Star Fox Zero to the Switch, but ultimately it's up to Nintendo, which is basically what you'd expect. It's one of those things, it likely won't happen. It didn't do very well. I feel like it would be a better game, though. A port would solve a lot of these problems.
It would be.
I think that Star Fox Zero, even with dramatically better controls, would still be kind of boring. It would feel like a retread of the same formula we've been spoon-fed for Star Fox since Star Fox 64.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. Is Zero at its base, I mean, even if you take out the weird controls on Wii U, Zero at its base was just a retread of 64. And I'm so tired of seeing Star Fox get rebooted and just porting this to Switch would basically be tantamount to another reboot. And I want to see the series push forward. I don't know what that means, and I know Nintendo has seemingly kind of developed themselves into a corner with Star Fox. So, I'm glad I'm not the person being paid to make that decision, but I don't want another retread of 64, which itself was a kind of a remake of the original game. Yeah. So it's just like, I like it when Star Fox does weird things like Adventures and Assault, even if they're not the best games ever. I do like that they have more of their own identities, and I find them to be more interesting than games like Star Fox Zero that are just trying to be Star Fox 64 Redux.
I will say I'm a big defender of Star Fox Zero. I really like that game.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I do agree with you that I think they should try something new because, well, they do, and then fans get upset that it's not Star Fox 64. But
yeah,
things like Star Fox Command, even though that game has its own issues as well on the DS, I thought some of that strategy stuff that they added was really cool, where you could like create a path on the touch screen and have some strategy elements in there. So they've tried cool things with the Star Fox franchise. But I guess some people just want the same game over and over again. And
yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to please everybody.
Yeah, that's a tricky thing because people know they like 64, but every time they've experimented beyond that, it's just not gone as well. In which case, just do the same thing as 64, but with different events, story, something. I think that's the bigger issue.
Yeah. If it was mechanically very similar, I wouldn't mind that, but yeah, have different new things happen. Give me new bosses, give me new locales and environments, and I'd be fine with even just that much effort.
Yeah.
And I get that I'm probably in the minority here, but I like it, and I've mentioned this before, I like it when Star Fox gets weird. I like it when Star Fox leans into the whole furry space opera thing and takes itself seriously. All those ridiculous endings in Star Fox Command, like one of them with Crystal turning her name into Cursed with a K. It's so stupid. It's like grade A stupid, but I love it. It's like anime furry space opera. And there's nothing else quite like that in games. So that's why I like it when Nintendo leans into the weird with Star Fox and doesn't just play it safe,
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Star Fox is ripe for a reboot. We talked about it in our last weekly discussion, but yeah, give me something new, Nintendo. I think we've reached a point where we have most, if not all, of the Wii U games that we really want on the Switch have made the jump at this point.
Yeah, there's still a few. There's a few left, but
Wind
not
Waker
too many.
And Twilight Princess HD, I would say, are still
outstanding. Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Xenoblade X.
Yeah, Xenoblade X was the example I was thinking of. But yeah, I do agree. We need Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD on the Switch like yesterday. It's the right time for it, Nintendo. It's the right year for it, Nintendo.
I'm not doing it.
Hey, look, and if we can't get a Rhythm Heaven game for Switch like an original one, I'll take a Rhythm Heaven Fever remastered, whatever you want to call it.
Rhythm Heaven Gold.
Edition. I don't know. Gold, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Just anything, please.
Yeah.
Please.
I mean, as far as Star Fox, just to toss out an idea to have the same gameplay, but just change it up a bit. Make it a Voyager type things where Star Fox gets ambushed and the Great Fox crash lands or gets teleported away to a far off galaxy, and they need to make their way back to Corneria in order to save it from whether it's Andross or somebody else, and you're planet hopping, maybe even building up your own like bigger Star Fox teams that handle the bigger threat of Andross, something, and changing up like the different vehicles so you have more than just the R-Wing and really changing it up. And I don't know, that's just me tossing ideas out of my butt. And I feel like that still would be a really cool, fun game that sticks with what made Star Fox enjoyable.
That reminds me of all things. It reminds me of Mass Effect 3's Galactus Readiness Meter. And so I'm thinking of like Mass Effect married with Star Fox, where you're like getting the whole galaxy to be prepared to take on Andross's new army or something. Really quick, speaking of Star Fox, this is too good not to highlight. In our live audience patron chat, Cornflake said, pull an FF7 remake / Evangelion reboot with Star Fox. To which Eddie B replied, Star Fox 1.0, I cannot let you do that. That is so
that is really good.
Fantastic. Too good.
One other last interesting thing about all this during the interview, They were asked if giving feedback to someone as prestigious as Miyamoto was difficult, and the person being interviewed said actually Yusuke Hashimoto, who was working on Star Fox as director at the time, was the one handling that, but he's no longer with Platinum Games, and he was probably the one who had the most trouble taking the ideas to Mr. Miyamoto, because aside from how he is personally, he is a giant in the industry and somebody who has a lot of creators look up to. So it takes a lot of courage for anyone to go to him with ideas or feedback. And that might explain why Miyamoto has so much pull. Like, yeah, he's a giant in the industry. You respect your elders, I believe in Japanese business. But sometimes I do feel like you need to have a push back on Miyamoto.
I agree, and I think we've kind of mentioned that topic in the show before. But I do agree that
so difficult though. Like, think about it. Really like being a game maker,
you don't want to be that person,
and just like, hey, Mr. Miyamoto, this game we're working on together, kind of like I don't like it, and he's like, did you make Zelda, bitch? Because I made Zelda, and I think this game's great. Right. I'd be like, well, you know what? I'm going to go take that L and cry in the bathroom for an hour.
Yep.
Oh, gosh. Juan might have brought up a good point here. Miyamoto was acting as president at the time because Zero was in development during Iwata's passing. That, yeah.
That is a rough time to... I wouldn't even want to talk to anybody that was close to Iwata at that time. I'd be like...
Probably not.
I am just going to reserve all of my criticisms for 378 days from today. We can talk next year.
Yeah, that's fair.
Real quick, did anyone ever play Starlink? I know it's not.
Yes,
I never finished it, but I did play a bit of it and loved the Star Fox missions. Love the characterization of Wolf. That cutscene with Wolf is amazing.
So I haven't actually played it, so I wanted to get like a opinion from you guys. Like, is that like a different direction that might be cool for Star Fox? Like, did that game do anything cool?
I have been saying since that game came out that is kind of like the prototype for what I want to see from a new Star Fox game. Like, the ability to like be in the R-Wing and just like touch down and take off from planets and go back into space and travel through the star system at your leisure. I so want that in a Star Fox game. I actually suggested that Hello Games make a new Star Fox, using kind of like the engine they created for No Man's Sky, but tightening it up to where it's not just procedurally generated planets everywhere, but actually recreate the Corneria system or the Lilat system in their kind of engine where you can, travel freely through space. I would love to see that.
Very cool.
Yeah, there's...
I like what I played of it.
I never finished Starlink because it runs into Ubisoft open world syndrome, where you had all these planets, but you're doing the same thing on every planet, and it gets highly repetitive and really boring, and the plot isn't strong enough to carry it through. Like the special Star Fox stuff is pretty fun, but I never saw to the end of it because I kind of got bored.
The game's fatal flaw is not letting you out of your R-Wing either. Like, if you can go all the way down to the surface level of a planet and land, you should be able to get out. Like, they're like...
They don't want to have to do another control scheme.
Pretty much. I mean, I feel like the perfect Star Fox game for me is somewhere between, like, an open universe type of game and then with the on-foot mechanics of Star Fox Assault from the GameCube. Like, I actually really liked the on-foot segments of that. I would love to see something where, you can actually get down, get out, and go into buildings and fight people one-on-one. I mean, Fox has an array of weapons at his disposal he could use in situations like this. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we move on, Bongo Lover with a $5 Canadian super chat saying, "Is it weird that Naruto has a better chance than Samus being in Fortnite? Also, Naveed, do you drink Danimals? If you do, what flavor?"
I used to drink Danimals. I'm not on the Danimals train just yet anymore, but I can always hop back on. I think I had strawberry back in the day.
I will say,
Danimals, so man.
Yeah, I will say, we stayed with my sister and her kids. She had I looked in the refrigerator and there was a whole lineup of Danimals smoothie stuff for the kids to drink. I'm like,
perfect.
Oh no, they followed me.
You should have taken a picture and posted it on the.
I really should have. I didn't even think about that.
But I was a Go-Gurt guy, honestly.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was. No, well, actually, I was a Trix yogurt guy.
Okay.
I don't even think that's a thing anymore, but I actually really did like the Trix yogurt.
I was never a big yogurt person in general. I think I used to have whatever, like the fruit at the bottom. There was like, what is it, Dannon fruit at the bottom yogurt for a little while as a kid. But yeah, I never really. The only yogurt I've really ever liked is frozen yogurt, which is, just basically more like ice cream.
Right.
Just not quite as bad for you, I guess. But yeah, I've never really been into like traditional yogurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't drink it a lot or eat it a lot, whatever. It's just not my thing. All right. Next up is Brian Rivera with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much, saying, I'm back. Thank you guys so much for the love and support after my wisdom teeth were taken out. I loved you guys and the stuff you do since the GX days and Smash 4 hype. By the way, Chorus Kids and Sora for Smash. Well, we only get one, but
I know.
I'm glad you're feeling
Brian,
better.
Thank you. Yeah, glad you're feeling better. Thank you so much. And thank you for your impeccable taste in perspective Smash characters, because those are two top tier choices right there.
Ash, is this just an old account?
Oh, yeah.
It really is. It's a soft account for Ash.
Yeah.
And finally, Jason the Artist with a 200 yen super chat. Thank you so much for that. Saying 3, 2, 1, go. What are you drinking on stream, guys?
Iced coffee, as often.
My wife brought me a slushie out of nowhere.
Water.
Ooh.
I thought that was
Sadly,
vodka based on that glass. I was like, my man.
No,
Actually, I do
Yeah.
know water. I
It's 5
There's
p.m.
also
somewhere.
not a lot in there, so it kind of looks like it would be vodka. Yeah. No, it's water.
have an old water
Nice.
bottle of water, but that's about it. I forgot to bring anything up. That's all right, though. But thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to our next story, which, guys, I think we're eating crow. So, turns out, after seeing it time and time and time again, almost as if it's a loop, Deathloop is actually really freaking good according to critics. It is a massive critical hit, getting some perfect scores from certain outlets. GameSpot and IGN both gave it a 10, VG247 5 out of 5, 6 Axis a 10, VGC a 5 out of 5. The hell?
I mean, I'm not surprised given the developer's pedigree. It's just more that despite that, I'm still not that interested in what I've seen of the game. That doesn't mean that it's not good. It's apparently great.
I think
it doesn't really do anything for me.
I think it ties into the fact that the way it was marketed is like it looked interesting. I just didn't know how it really played. But apparently, once you actually play it, it's really fun. Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that's been Deathloop's biggest problem. And I've said this all throughout, the year we've been watching this game come together, is that the worst thing they've done is that they haven't really painted a solid picture of how the gameplay functions throughout all the myriad trailers we've seen for it. I kind of, and I think what that did initially, my first take on it, if you go way back to the Game Awards last year, I was like, oh, this game looks pretty cool. I was like, I think this game could be kind of cool. But then they showed trailer after trailer with seemingly no more information than the first. And I was like, maybe they're hiding something. Maybe this game isn't great. I'm glad to know that we're wrong on that, though. I think it's really cool that, because it does have an interesting premise, at least from what I could suss out from the trailers. It looks like, hey, there's another player or potentially just an NPC that's after you specifically, trying to stop you. And, you every time you die, you come back and you learn a little bit more about your enemy and try to outsmart them throughout this whole thing. Seems like a cool idea. Glad to know it apparently is. I would love to play it myself. This game is dying for a demo again.
It is. Yeah.
And the whole thing about bringing other players into your game, I'm not even clear about that. Is that
right?
So integral to the game that there's no offline campaign, or is it still?
Doesn't sound like it. According to Hey It's Dingo in the patron chat, that says the way the asymmetrical multiplayer is that you have the online turned on, you can randomly get looped into someone else's game to try and kill them. So it just seems like slightly Dark Soulish.
Yeah,
in that way.
That's what I thought of when I heard of that mechanic. But it's like you said, Steve, like a demo would be perfect for something like this.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm also in that same boat where I see the game, the aesthetic is cool, love the style it's going for, but I just really don't know what's going on there. So I mean, it's great that it's getting good review scores because I always love to see more great games out there. But yeah, I just don't know much about it, and I haven't had experience much with other Arcane games either. I really wanted to play Prey, but I just never got to it, and I never got into the Dishonored series either.
Yeah, same.
Sure. I mean, I as I was saying earlier with Forspoken, I do really appreciate that Deathloop is, thrusting people of color into the main lead roles again. I think that's fantastic. I just don't think the marketing has been particularly effective, both kind of in general, but specifically on me. I just haven't really, and again, it says a lot that it's basically out now, and all the way up to now, I was thinking there is some sort of co-op mechanic, some sort of, and apparently there's not. It is primarily a single player experience. So I don't think the marketing has been very good at teaching people what exactly this thing even is. But that's not to say there isn't any merit in it. And clearly the reviews are coming in super positive for this, which is great.
Yeah. It's one of those things where with reviews like this, I would absolutely check this out if it was any other year. There was too much and I am too far behind to check this out. If it was, it had like a light month where it was like this and one other game and the other game was like at the direct end of the month. It's like, you know what? Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I can't.
My wallet is already crying from all the other stuff.
I have to wait for Metroid. That's
Me too.
That's all it is.
Juan makes an interesting point in our live audience patron chat. We were talking about how this was kind of surprised during the PlayStation Showcase, the fact that Kena wasn't shown at all, and it's just essentially due to be out like within a week, I think. And it's just everything surrounding that game has gone silent ever since they delayed it a little bit, which makes me concerned. And I agree with you, Juan. I feel like because things have gone so dark surrounding that game, I feel like a demo would be a good idea for that, but perhaps there are reasons they don't want to do that. I know,
maybe
Steve,
another delay is on the horizon.
Yeah. I had heard from some friends who went hands-on with a build earlier in the year that said that it just wasn't shaping up very well. I hope that's not the case because Kena looked amazing, but it is really weird for it to be coming out so soon and to know so little about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Always a red flag when reviews aren't out like 4 days before a game's release.
Yeah, or I guess we're not getting trailers after trailer after trailer.
True.
So, hey, maybe this means Guardians of the Galaxy will be really freaking good too.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That off a lot.
I mean, it looked better at the PlayStation Showcase. It did look better, to be fair. So we'll see.
Absolutely. But I thought, I felt like we needed to punctuate this story after talking about Deathloop so often during our reactions. Like we have to talk about the fact that it actually reviewed really well.
Yeah, definitely. Or definitely.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's go ahead and move on. But before that, of course, we got some more super chats. First from Rec BCQ with a $2 super chat saying, I think the looping is rubbing off on me. And then K9 Biscuits with $2 super chat saying, last port Nintendo Land, but with 2 Switches. Ooh,
I'd be down
I like
for
it.
that.
And the reason
down.
I've not played a lot of Nintendo Land, but I remember it being some good stuff.
I love that.
Yeah, everybody who's played it loves it. I just got to it late. And then the reason I rushed over Rex first super chat is because he's in a bit of a loop with a $5 super chat. I think the looping is rubbing off on me. So I'd say break the cycle, but I don't know. I don't know how you break the cycle.
Of super chats.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up is Darchi with a $10 super chat. Thank you once again, saying, Are you guys going to review Halo Infinite? I know it's not a game that would normally fit your lineup, but it's a very significant release and has lots of promise, especially multiplayer. I cannot, as I don't own an Xbox, and I know Ash is not a first-person guy. So, Steve, are you reviewing Halo Infinite?
It'll primarily be Steve.
we're at the mercy of Microsoft if we get to review it or not, right?
Right.
I will tell you this: if Microsoft is keen to send us an early copy, then we absolutely will review it here on the channel. I can confirm that we do have access to the upcoming Halo technical test. Our friends at Microsoft reached out to me about 2 weeks ago and asked me if we'd like to cover the next one since they weren't able to help us out with the last one. So we will be doing that. The multiplayer test that's coming up, we'll be covering that here on the channel. And Microsoft has been nothing but good to us since we started GVG. They've reached out and offered multiple games at different occasions over the last year. So I'm hopeful, but I would never want to speak for them and say, yeah, we're getting early code, because we haven't even talked to them about it yet. So when we get closer to November, I will talk to them and see if we can get an early copy, because, yeah, I'd love to review it. I love Halo. I reviewed Halo 5, which I was very saddened by. But I did review it way back in the day. So we'll see. It remains to be seen, but if they let us, we will.
Very cool. And finally, Luigi and Daisy 315 back with another $2 super chat saying, Knuckles from Sonic versus Jax from Mortal Kombat. You choose.
Oh,
Jeez. I mean, I feel like Jax is willing to go a lot further than Knuckles would. I've never seen Knuckles rip people apart limb from limb, so I think that might be Knuckles' downfall. At the same time, though, I feel like Hyper Knuckles wins this easily. For regular Knuckles, it goes to Jax, but Super or Hyper Knuckles, it goes to Knuckles, I think.
Absolutely,
yeah,
I agree
with that.
Yeah, I'd go Jax. He's got that ground pound move that's pretty insane. Yeah, Jax would take it.
And now, of course, I have this vision of Jax like ripping off, because one of Jax's fatalities is he rips off your arms. I don't want to see that happen to Knuckles. Jeez.
You're right.
That's
he does.
Terrifying.
And he also has one where he like smashes someone's head and just like
I was gonna say he like claps their head.
Yeah,
and it just blows
and I don't
up.
want to see that either.
So no Sonic cross Mortal Kombat happening anytime soon. Hopefully,
not unless we want to see your favorite Sonic characters get killed mercilessly.
See, the better Sonic matchup would have been Sonic versus Cabal, since they're both super speed characters.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. Cabal. Nice.
Now you're just making me think of Sonic fatalities, like how it's Sonic.
Well, that's what got me thinking of it, because I was like, what would Sonic's fatality be? And I remembered that Cabal has one where he grabs your head and starts running at like super speed, and then just touches your head to the ground as he's running, and basically you explode. I'm like, I can't picture Sonic doing that to a person.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting visual.
It's got really dark.
Yeah, seriously.
Dampened the mood in here.
Tyler Hardy with a $1.99 super chat saying, Jax needs that fourth damn Chaos Emerald. It's the only way he can win.
Yeah, it's the only way he can. Yeah, if he can. That's the only way he can stand up to Hyper Knuckles for sure. And even then, I don't know. One Chaos Emerald against the might of 7. I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah. RV Rocks, did you all play Sonic SmackDown? I have played Sonic SmackDown, a little bit of it. It's actually really good.
I have
not.
Honestly.
No. Nope.
Huh.
I have not.
I wonder if that would make for a good EP stream, because it's free. It's on PC. It's a fan-developed game, and it's pretty damn good.
Once I'm on a streaming PC, yeah.
And you might be able to run it on your Sash. I don't know. I'll have to see.
If it's Mac friendly, sure.
I don't know, but it's really good. Steve would like it because it plays like a traditional fighting game.
Hey, I'm down.
I mean, that sounds great. I enjoyed Sonic the Fighters for what it was.
Oh, RV Rock says online servers aren't on yet, though. Dang it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to our next story, which sees some price switch ups.
Well
done. Nice.
Thank you. So, Nintendo has lowered the price of the Switch in Europe due to exchange rates, plus the incoming Switch OLED. Basically, things apparently with the exchange rates, they were just getting quite high in the Europe and the UK. And this is meant to sort of bring it in line with other regions. So it's only been cheapened by about £20, about €30, but it's something. So that's something for our European friends.
Yeah. I mean, it's really a matter of, if you if you play your Switch or you would anticipate playing your Switch in handheld mode a lot, it does seem like it would make sense to wait for the OLED model and pay a little bit more for that if you can find one. But the price drop is nice for those players who are just like, you know what, I'm primarily going to be playing at home connected to my TV. That OLED screen, as nice as it is, I just wouldn't get as much use out of it.
Yeah, I think the bigger story here is just how unprecedented it is with the Switch in terms of price drops.
Right.
That there hasn't been one. Because I did some research here. I got my notebook. I went and looked at price drops for other systems over the course of their life. And you think price drops are only for like, you know, consoles that are not doing well. The Wii U got a price drop like less than 12 months after it came out. But even things like the PS4 got a $50 price drop 2 years after launch. The Wii got a $50 price drop 3 years after launch. The PS2, the best-selling console of all time, got a $100 price drop less than 2 years after launch. So the Switch is 4.5 years old, and in America we haven't seen a single price drop.
That's true. That's a good point.
Which is crazy.
Just how well it's doing.
That is wild to think that. Yeah.
I took a little gander at exchange rates, and the original price, which is this is in pounds, was $279.99. That translates to basically $388 over here. So they're definitely paying more than us.
Wow,
which I feel kind of bad for. It's almost $400 for them essentially.
Yeah,
this brings it down to $360 for them. So it's still not massive, but I guess it's better.
Yeah. It's so weird, Naveed, because you're completely right. I know what you're saying. Like, it's unprecedented that the Switch hasn't had a price drop for as long as it's been out until now, and still hasn't had one here in the US. But the Switch just continues to feel, I don't want to say ageless, because obviously some of the games are starting to look a little bit long in the tooth, but it doesn't feel to me like the Switch, even now, is in its
4 years.
Year of life.
Oh, I totally agree.
It doesn't feel like that. It's so weird to think that it's in its 5th year of life. Yeah.
I think Nintendo is trying to kind of copy Apple on this one. I think their strategy is going to be to never lower the price of the Switch, but rather to introduce models that are upgraded at the same price point while phasing out the previous one. So I think we get the Switch OLED, it's $350 for a while. I think eventually the Switch OLED becomes the $300 model and the LCD model goes away. And then we get something more premium in at either $350 or $399.
Agreed.
You know, something with actual increased horsepower. I think that's what Nintendo's going to do. And they're just going to have like a refresh cycle with this thing where we get these new Switches that just have some kind of update to them, and it continues to cost like $300 forever, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, the past year and a half, 2 years, best year the Switch has ever had. So it's not like they need to drop the price.
Right.
It's just weird to think about a console not having a price drop for 4.5 years.
Yeah.
Well, it just goes to show that Nintendo is viewing the Switch very differently from how they've viewed their previous console offerings. And I think that's a smart thing in a way. As a consumer, it kind of sucks because you don't... I mean, the major difference between what Apple is doing and what Nintendo is doing is that Apple gives you a new iPhone every year. They're like every year, like clockwork, there's a new model to replace the old one. So it kind of makes the fact that the price never wavers sting less. But we're talking about almost 5 years on, and this thing still costs the same as what it did.
It has... Now there's a built-in fear. It's like, I'm going to buy the a Switch, and all of a sudden the Switch Pro is finally announced. It's like, damn it.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Just get screwed. Somebody's going to get screwed. It's going to happen to somebody where they buy a Switch and all of a sudden the new better one is announced for the same price point later on.
Right.
So it will suck. It's crazy to me that in order to hit the $300 price point in the US, it'd be 216 pounds in Europe and in the UK.
That's wild to think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exchange rates are wild.
Yeah.
I will say, like, some of the pricing could also be a factor of COVID and everything that's happened, because chip shortages have been going around all over the world over the past year and a half. So it might actually cost more to produce some of that stuff for companies. So maybe that was a factor in not lowering the price more recently. And do you guys think this is going to lead to a price drop in other territories, or do you think it's just because of that exchange rate?
I don't think so. It doesn't feel like it. I feel like they would have announced it for all over otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's always a possibility that they could be pressured into doing so now that they've heard the obviously positive response to the European price drop. However, money talks more than anything. Money's louder than anything. Yep. So if the Switch is continuing to sell really well at the current price point, it doesn't really matter what if there's any backlash, they're going to keep selling it at the full $300 price, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree with that. I feel like we're going to see it continue at the $300 price point for now, at least. I think the only thing that will get Nintendo to drop the price ahead of what I believe to be their schedule would be if the OLED comes out and then sales of the original precipitously drop. Like if there's just such a perceived difference in value that Nintendo has to cut the price of the other one to move the inventory they still have. But I think beyond that, we'll see it stick at 300 for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and they do have the Switch Lite to point to whenever someone brings up price. They could just be like, "Hey, there's this cheaper $100 cheaper option out there if you want."
Yeah. Honestly, I'm a bit surprised that the Switch Lite is still $200. I think that's the one that baffles me more, because that's the one you want to drive the price down on as much as possible, because I think that taking something, as somebody who has a gaggle of children of his own, when I look at something that all my kids want and it's $200, I cringe, because I'm like, oh God, 4 kids, that's $800. But at $99, that thing is deep into impulse buy territory, where you're just like, oh, $100 and I can play Breath of the Wild 2 on this thing? Sold. Like I would.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, let's have to see how that whole price situation pans out. But let's say we get to our final story of the night. And before we actually... go ahead.
Before we do that, I do have one piece of breaking news. It's been a while since we've had breaking news here on TNT. An old face returns to the EP squad. Welcome back to Brooke. Now, full name, Brooke by the Bay, has just upped their pledge to $25 up from live audience. Welcome back both to our Discord and to the EP squad. It's great to have you back.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brooke. We're really glad to have you back in the community. You were missed, so we're really happy you're back.
Absolutely. Nice. I like it. All right. Well, I don't know how much... some of these companies will like this, if it's true. And that's the big spoiler warning on here. If you don't want to have releases, and this could be real, this could be not. That's basically going to be the crux of this discussion, because there's apparently a possibly massive leak thanks to NVIDIA GeForce Now, which revealed possibly a list of games coming to PC and other services. So, yeah, basically what I just said, it's there, it's out, and from what I understand, looking at this, somebody was able to, or a group of people will unlock NVIDIA GeForce Now, and basically just started thinking of names, typing them in, and see if they popped up. And there's been thousands of games found, old and new, and some that might be possibly coming, or might be ideas thrown out there that's not been made a thing upon, but it's led to some really interesting possibilities that have gotten people excited. In particular, a Chrono Cross remaster, a Final Fantasy Tactics remaster, and a Final Fantasy IX remake.
And Kingdom Hearts 4.
And Kingdom Hearts 4, which is like, sure, okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, who knows if this is real, but give me that Chrono Cross remaster. I want it to be real now, man.
Oh, man. That would be so cool if they would remake all of the pre-rendered backgrounds. Just,
yeah, right?
Nice. The idea of an FF9 remake is interesting. I would not have expected Square to go in that direction. I mean, I love FF9 personally, and I'd love to see what they could do with the remake, but I'm just surprised that they would go with that as the popular option. And
I personally wonder, well, I don't personally, I saw somebody wonder if it's actually more like Final Fantasy VIII Remastered on Switch. which just cleaned up all those graphics, which still looks really nice. So
it does. Here's the part where I say all of this is bullshit.
Yeah, bring it on.
So, I mean, first off, let's not cover, or let's not ignore Kingdom Hearts 4. That's just not a thing that's happening.
No.
And definitely not close enough. But there are some big major red flags in this thing. One, this thing didn't just contain like loads of unannounced games. There was Photoshop in here. Microsoft Office. I guess if you want to stream Excel through fucking GeForce Now, that was in there. There were pirated Wii games in there.
Right.
So New Super Mario Brothers was in there. And all of this, what this tells me, but more importantly, there was also a listing for a PC version of Mario and Rabbids, which to me is like the most damning thing of all. Like, Nintendo's not going to put Mario and Rabbids on PC. They're just not.
It's not going to happen.
Never going to happen. These are the guys who haven't lowered the Switch price for 5 years. They're not going to be like, you know what, let's just port Mario to PC because we definitely don't like money. I think a lot of this, so I think what people are confusing is, one, developers will put dummy listings for things to test stuff, and it sounds like this database literally never got cleaned up by anybody ever. This was somebody who, so the means that they used to access this was that NVIDIA left publicly left access to the database just wide open, uncredentialed access. And so someone literally just typed in the web address for their database and then figured out very quickly how to just dump a whole list of everything that's in there. And they just started combing through it, right? And it's 18,000 games in there, or 18,000 entries. Because like I said, not all of these are games, but Dolphin was in there, just the Dolphin emulator, not running a game, just Dolphin. They had God of War, which hasn't been confirmed to be getting a PC port, but had a Steam badge on it. And people are saying oh, that means it's coming to Steam, which given Sony's track record, I think that could happen. But I think what you're seeing here is just, one, developers with internal access to GeForce Now using it for their own purposes, because it is essentially just a PC streaming platform. So that's why you can run apps like Office and Photoshop in them. They literally might be using it in lieu of having a virtual desktop. Because in the IT world, we deploy virtual desktops to people that, for whatever reason, we can't give a physical laptop to, right? We're here's a fake computer that you can log into and do your work on. And if anything goes wrong, we can just delete your whole computer off the face of the earth. I have a feeling that internally at NVIDIA, they use GeForce Now technology in lieu of your standard virtual desktop software that you would find elsewhere, because they own that platform. And I think developers have loaded that up with weird shit. I think some developers have other stuff. And I guarantee you that internally at NVIDIA, there have been pitches to Sony, to Microsoft, to Nintendo saying hey, we have game streaming tech. You want game streaming tech. Let us show you some of your games running on our platform. So I guarantee you they found a way to hack these to run PlayStation games. It probably is running on a PlayStation. So I would just say everything you see in there is probably the result of NVIDIA toying around with their own platform, thinking okay, can we get Sony to pay us hundreds of millions of dollars to host all their PlayStation Now stuff? Or can we get Microsoft to let us host xCloud? Or can we get Nintendo to jump on with game streaming and just showing them hey, we're going to pitch you on this. Here's God of War running on our system. It runs great. And, probably nothing comes of that. But I mean, people are always going to make those types of overtures towards companies that have the money to bankroll that kind of stuff. And I think that's, people are I would not look at this list and say, these are actually games that are announced and are coming out. They're probably half wish list stuff. And then the other half is stuff they're hoping to get the publishers to sign off on. Hey, we could do this. We can make this happen if you want to give us lots of money. And, you just win another way with it.
I tend to agree. I certainly wouldn't go in and for many of the reasons you stated, Steve, I would not go in and look at this list and be yes, these games are all coming. Hell yeah. Chrono Cross Remaster, FF9, I agree. I hope there's some grain of truth to some of these possibly, but I agree. I have very little confidence that a lot of this stuff is going to shake out. That said, there is some stuff there that also tracks that it would make sense, Horizon Forbidden West. And, there are entries on this list that do make logical sense.
I mean, they just announced Uncharted for PC, and that's on there.
Exactly.
I
so
absolutely
there are things that make sense, but I agree.
I absolutely agree that there are some actual reveals in this list. Because they do have to internally certify games. Like, if they're going to offer it on GeForce Now on day one, it only makes sense that they're testing it now, right? Or that they're testing it as soon as the build's available. So I do, I would say that, yeah, some of the more, like you said, Ash, the stuff that tracks is probably true. Like, there are probably things in there. But when you look at things like Chrono Cross Remaster, Kingdom Hearts 4, all this other stuff that isn't even in the realm of rumor or speculation, then I'd be like,
I'd
more
lose it for
skeptical,
Chrono Cross Remastered.
That would be wild, man. I would love it. I'd be super happy. I just don't think we're finding out about it here. God, it's gonna be
obviously
though.
Obviously, that unannounced title by Square Enix is a Chrono Trigger remake or Chrono Break. Obviously,
obviously.
What
are your feelings on this, Naveed?
I was gonna say, even if there was, like, some of these games were actually like true, like God of War, because when I first saw this story, I saw it in the context of, wow, a bunch of these Sony games got revealed for PC from this leak. So I didn't see everything else, but when you look deeper into it, you can tell, a lot of that stuff is BS. But even if like God of War was coming, who's to say when it's gonna come? It could be like 3-4 years down the line. And I don't see a company like Sony, even though they've been releasing stuff on PC, I don't see them releasing things like Returnal this soon on PC. Like, maybe down the line they would, but they don't want to alienate their actual console audience, because unlike Microsoft is like PC and console, they kind of go hand in hand with Microsoft, but with Sony, focused on the console first, and then they release some stuff on PC later down the line. So it's interesting to look at all the stuff that's here, but I would not take a lot of this and just be super excited about it.
Sure. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that's kind of our fault, because I was like, at first, like, oh, this looks interesting, but I didn't look too deep into it. I just saw people talking about it, and then I started looking through what was being there. I was like, see, as soon as I saw Kingdom Hearts 4, I'm like, oh no.
Well, let's talk about it, provide some clarity and context for what people are looking at. I think it's good that we talk about it.
Oh no, it's absolutely. That's why I wanted to put it up here, because a lot of people are talking about it. It has become a big thing. It just doesn't. I think once you take a closer look, that's when it sort of falls apart in the art. It's like, this is probably nothing.
When I saw the Mario thing, that's when I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Square, though, by the rules of the internet, the official rules of the internet, these rumors mean they now owe us all these things. Whether they were real or not, because it was rumored on the internet, now Square owes us a Chrono Cross remaster, an FF9 remake, Kingdom Hearts 4. That's just how the internet works.
I'm not going to lie, though. If we get a Chrono Cross remaster before a Chrono Trigger remaster, I will be triggered. I will be very upset.
You'll be very cross?
Yes, I will be very triggered and cross.
Nice. Yeah, that would be... I mean, I guess you could argue that maybe Chrono Trigger has already been remastered in its own context.
No, you can't. Stop it. Don't put that out onto the internet, Ashton Paulson.
I mean, the DS version is the ideal.
No. We still deserve a remaster.
What if it's from Forever Entertainment, though? Then do you still want that remaster?
I don't know.
Monkey's paw situation there for you. You get a remaster, but it's from Forever.
I'll give them one chance with something other than Chrono Trigger to gain my
Fair enough. Nice.
Yeah. We shall see.
Yeah.
Generally, though, it looks like people are not buying into this. Another thing people have been brought up is that Injustice 3 God's Fall or something like that.
Gods Will Fall.
Yeah. Is like a fan title for like a fan fiction or something like that. So it's like, yeah, it's not looking so good.
Yeah. Real quick to our folks in the patron chat, I am not disparaging the DS version of Chrono Trigger in any way. I'm just saying I want like a brand new remade version.
He wants awesome. He wants Chrono Trigger in a remade in the same style as Dragon Quest XI, which yes.
Yeah. That is
be
what
amazing.
I want. I want that, and I will buy it at a high price.
I'll buy it at a high price.
All right. Well, we'll see what comes of that. Probably nothing. We got a few more super chats before we end things off. First up from Luigi and Daisy 315, once again with a $2 super chat saying, "Are you familiar with L's Mark YouTube channel?" Can't say I am.
Nope. No, can't say I am. Yeah.
Nope. Sorry.
But thank you for letting us know about it. I'll look that up.
Yeah. And thanks for the super chat once again. And also, thank you to Gladiator Loki with a $5 super chat saying, "If you could be put into an RPG video game, describe your character traits and method of combat." Oh, God.
Jeez. It's really hard.
I'd be Edward from Final Fantasy IV, except without the musical talent.
Wait, but that's the only thing that recommends him. What else do you have if you can't have the bard powers?
No combat abilities. What are you talking about?
Fair enough. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I'd probably be a pretty straightforward warrior type. I don't think I'd be too subversive. I wouldn't go for any of like the really tricky to use classes. I'd probably be pretty straightforward.
I'll tell you what I would be. I would be Tuxedo Mask from the Sailor Moon RPG for the Super Famicom, only because he only shows up, says a few things, and then leaves before the fight starts.
That's like the show, so yeah, it trends.
Awesome.
Naveed?
I was going to say, if I was in an RPG, I'd be like a boring NPC somewhere. But if I have to fight, I think I'd be like a mage or something.
Yeah. I mean, I chose Dragoon in 14, so there you go.
I'd want to be like Terra in FF6 and get the best of both worlds. She's a physical powerhouse, but she also is a really accomplished mage, so you kind of get the best of both worlds.
Red mage, got it.
I'm selfish.
If there was an RPG character that fought by eating, that would be me.
Nice. Uh-huh.
Oh, there is one. Play Final Fantasy IX, Kina Kin.
There we
right,
go.
and now we just need a Kirby RPG.
There's Steve. Steve is Kina. God, that is horrifying. Oof. What were you going to say, Ash?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Well, last super chat is from Captain Linebeck with 15. I don't know.
Oh, it's Malaysian ringgits.
Malaysian ringgits. Thank you very, very much for that. Saying, so here's Sony officially endorsing emulators as a solution for playing old fighting games with a Twitter link. I don't know what that is.
Checking that out.
Yeah, it's just telling folks to use Null DC if they want to play old Naomi games, which is wild to hear coming directly from PlayStation.
Yeah.
So it basically says Null DC Bear is for those that are more interested in fighting games that use Naomi software like MVC2, Dead or Alive, Capcom vs. SNK 2. Client is similar to Fightcade, but specialized in Dreamcast arcade fighter hardware. So definitely weird to see that on PlayStation.com. But
all right then. Weird.
Yeah.
That is something.
Yeah. Thank you.
They're like emulate Sega games all you want. We buried them already.
There you go.
I do want to call out something Screamo Shaman said, and I don't want to speak for Steve, but I know how Steve didn't mean it, so I just want to apologize. You said, please don't make jokes about being triggered. I have PTSD, and jokes like that make people take it less serious, and we are legitimately triggered. Really sorry about that, Screamo Shaman. And of course, I know Steve didn't mean it in that way.
To be fair, I also have PTSD. I was diagnosed just a month ago. I don't like to talk about it very much because it's deeply personal, but yeah, I apologize if I was if it came off as I was making light of something, but I too suffer from PTSD, and I understand that, different things can trigger folks, and yeah, just playing off the words, not trying to make a light of anybody's personal situation.
Absolutely.
That's exactly why I called it out, because I knew that's what you meant, Steve. So yeah, and thank you, Screamo Shaman, for calling that out.
Thank you so much. And with that, I believe we've covered all the major headlines from today's news. But before we sign off, Naveed, where can everybody find you at?
It's just my name everywhere. Naveed Mohebbi on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. That's it. That's everything.
I think you have a series. Did you have was it on Twitch or was it on YouTube where you showed off every game in your collection?
I did a stream on Twitch where I was showing my Wii collection. I did my GameCube collection as well, which was really fun. I loved going through that stuff. I was thinking about doing more of that in the future, maybe with other systems. So
I think it's fun just looking at the old box art for a lot of some of those games.
That's fun for sure.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Naveed's a really good guy, and glad to have you back on.
Yeah.
And, thanks for having me back on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we'll get you back on again. I know that's a guarantee.
Back.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Of course, we also want to give a special thanks to all of our patrons, big and small. It's just great to have you all here supporting us each and every week. That is so appreciated. And a very special thanks to all of our patrons at the producer tier, as this show simply would not be possible without all of you. So thank you so much for that. And a massive, massive thank you to our executive producers and above. And that includes Jared Edinger, Brandon Bovia, Rob Arman X, Itiono Ben, Dan and Twistle, Dennis J, Z Patty, Hyrule Hermit, Sky Blue Flames, Adam O'Sullivan, Octopuppet, Richard Herrera, Michael Phone, The D-Pad, Vesmio, Waffle King, Kitty Kong Fax, Angel Martinez, Vedran Hotek, 112, John, Joshua Hunter, Evernight Studio, Benny Yao, Azran127, Pagrama, Ken Roulette 09, Jake Pelka, Geller, Joseph Rutkin, Titus Malvolio, Geeky Griffin, Lucky Wonderfish, Kyle, Top Dog 23100, Young Ben Kenobi, Doug Shomix, Andrew Medeiros, Orm M, Sakuragi, Becca, Rocks the Cat, Fizzy Wakehoid, Critmonger, The Legend of Groose, Eddie B, Kai Ed, Kit Fisto, Kenneth Lee Stingle, West Egg, Deaneth, Coda, Michael McCall, Matthew Wong, Goron Amber, Straight Lace, Justin Matthews, Hoobie, Too Much Spaghetti, Mega Conrad, Ascaron is 809, Kane, Captain Finlandia, 60 Minutes and 60 Seconds, Christopher Masterson, Spicy Pandaughter, The Game Orb, Dano the Artist, Grantles, Ravelox, Synchro Lord, Brainchild, Rosa Bowling.
Hi, Mom.
Kotar Peck, congratulations on your Smash win. Scuff196, Kane Woolley, Skull Kid Tiger, AJB Cool, Blizzica, Jason Uloa, Jaden Buck, Phantom Project, Cystic Warrior 29, Super Dank Awesome Unicorn Guy, Derek, Nathan the Voice Actor, Chibi J, Bongo Lover, Mumbling Yeti, Cameron Sharp, Fangs, Dinner Sonic, Fraham, Mason Riley, Keel, Santy the Person, Ditto M, Sci-Fi Lullabies, and our newest returning executive producer, Brooke by the Bay. Which, believe it or not, with Brooke, we are at 99 EPs.
Wow. Just one more and we'll finally have the executive producer Century Club? I don't know what we would call it.
I don't know, but that's 100 names to read.
I hate to be that person, but that does include a few names that might need to be removed since that's from August. So we'll see. But I think we're still within around 10 of 100, I think. So, well, I'll try to have that refreshed for Wednesday's episode so we have a truly, completely accurate present count.
I guess we'll see. But remember, you too, if you want to get to that magic 100, can become a patron over at patreon.com/gvgaming, where you can get access to our exclusive post show and ad-free content for as little as $5 a month. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Good Vibes Gaming for more good times like these. So until next time, good night and good vibes.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.